Hello, everyone. Here, I'm going to remove my spotlight. It feels a bit too much for now. I see so many people joining us. This is great. We're already up to 60 people in our audience tonight. 60 counting the three of us here on stage, and not many more people in this very cavernous, empty theater. Wow, how exciting. Let's see. We have one more. Let's admit that. How nice. All right. Well, I'm going to let everyone take a moment to get settled as I look through our list of guests here. I see Vanjie Buell is joining us. Hi, Vanjie. Nice to see you. I see Jamie Goulding. Jamie's all the way down in Southern California. Nice to see you, Jamie. I see Kate Lucchese, my high school Latin teacher. Hi, Kate. I saw the news about your novel being picked up for publication. Congratulations. I see our friend Holly Jimison. That's wonderful to see you, Holly. Holly hosted a wonderful musical birthday party that I was a part of. That was really fun. I see my great friend Dorothy Kennedy. Dorothy lives not too far from Big Basin State Park. There were some terrible fires there not too long ago. I hope all is well, Dorothy. What a good crowd we have today. Mark Rosenbush, welcome, Mark. Nice to see everyone in their home quarters here. Pat Bitten, hi Pat. Jane Hicks, hello Jane. So sorry we can't see you all here live at the theater, but this is as close as we get. I see my friend Marla Perkins in San Francisco. Hi Marla. I just heard Marla play a wonderful piano concert on Zoom not too long ago. I see our friends, the Cousins, Jerry and Susan Cousins are online. I see Elizabeth Quivy and several other friends from the North State Symphony. Hi, Elizabeth. How nice to see you.
We're talking it. Oh, hi, Ellen.
Hey. I see Alden Jenks, one of my favorite local composers from the Bay Area. You look like you're in a dance club, Alden. That's great. Oh, what a nice thing we're doing. Well, allow me to welcome you all to the first live-streamed concert from the Trinity Alps Chamber Music Festival's Fall and Winter Series. It's true, over the summer we did a series of streaming concerts on Zoom. Those were tremendous fun. They were also just a great way to learn about this new reality of performing in front of computers and microphones and cameras. You know, something that is rather foreign to many of us musicians, you know, especially classical musicians. We're used to a live audience. We're used to all acoustic setups. So now we have to figure out if we have all the right cables for everything. But today is a very special program. Today we are broadcasting live from the Trinity Alps Performing Arts Center in Weaverville, California. Do we have anyone from Weaverville in the house? Hey. We have a dedicated audience of about 4 people out there, and that's just great. First live audience in a while. The Trinity Alps Chamber Music Festival is celebrating its 10th season this year in such a unique way, doing our concerts like this. But being here on stage at the Performing Arts Center is really special, and we're just glad to be here. We have especially to thank our hosts from the Performing Arts Center, especially Jim French, who's sitting right behind the camera, so I'm addressing myself to you, Jim. Thank you for having us here. And especially to our friend Dero Forslund. Dero, thank you for helping us with camera equipment and audio and everything. In fact, Dero has quite the setup. We have several cameras. Yeah, bravo. All right. I hope it all works. No, yeah. Quite the setup. You'll see more camera angles than usual, perhaps, on programs like this. Now, by my side, Mr. James Jaffe on the cello. James and I both live in San Francisco. We have spent the last week, plus a few days, up in Trinity County at the heart of the Trinity Alps Chamber Music Festival. The heart of the festival is a residency that we do every summer and every winter, and that the three of us just partook in. The residency is at the real heart of the festival, that is at the farm of Ellen McGehee, the violinist to my left. So the three of us have been in our own little pod this last week, rehearsing music, working on the farm, harvesting beans and corn and peppers and processing food. And whenever we can avoid the smoke, we get outside and enjoy the beautiful scenery and the river. It's just been an incredible week. So today we share with you some of the fruits of our labors. The first piece on today's program is a trio by Ludwig van Beethoven. Beethoven, of course, wrote so much chamber music, and so much of it is really, we've explored a lot of it on the music festival throughout the years. But we have never played this piece on a festival program, and I have to say it's one of my favorites. This is Beethoven's Trio in D major, Opus 70, number 1. Most people know it by its nickname that it has picked up over the years. It's often called the Ghost Trio. The reason it has this nickname is because, mainly because of the music in the middle movement. The slow movement in the middle is dark and mysterious, and at some point someone thought it was spooky enough to justify this name, the Ghost Trio. There's another element to the story. Beethoven was apparently working on music to produce an opera on Shakespeare's Macbeth. And part of the story is that he used some of those sketches from those scenes of Macbeth in this trio. So perhaps this might have been the scene where the ghost of Banquo comes back to confront Macbeth. Who knows? Perhaps in some alternate reality, Beethoven had finished that opera. But for now, we have this trio. And I have to say, even though it has this spooky reputation and this very exotic middle movement, overall, it is a very buoyant and joyous and humorous piece, even. The first movement and the third movement are in the bright key of D major. They are full of fast, sort of glittering runs for all the instruments, and just a tremendous amount of energy. There are a few things I'll point out that you should listen for. One of them is that Beethoven has a way of playing with time in this piece. There are moments where, after just a furious burst of energy, he leaves us hanging, just almost stopping the action and holding it, especially on a perhaps unexpected note or chord. And these little stops and interruptions of the action, although they sort of shock us at the beginning, by the end of the piece we're so used to them that they're kind of one of the features that Beethoven has built into it. So is there anything that you two would like to contribute to this little preamble to our performance? James?
Hey everybody, I hope I'm close enough for you to hear me. Just some thank yous to start off with. This is a great festival. It's like a great place to play. And so, every time we get to go have this residency at Ellen's place, there's a lot of learning that goes on. I would say that we learn a little bit more every single time about what goes into farming. And I think then also I love being able to be the part of the city that comes up here and contributes some of the chamber music that's going on up here in Trinity County. And yeah, we just can't wait. We can't wait to see you all in person. We've tried our best to be very conscious of all the health regulations around this. So we're being smart with ourselves here in the hall and distancing. But we're really looking forward to playing for you live again.
That's great. Yeah, no fact checker needed. He is telling the truth. I promise that will be the last time I bring up the debate. Let's see. Ellen, do you have anything to share before we get started?
I'm so glad to be continuing this thread of this festival, and yeah, we'll see live when we can.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, is everybody ready? We're going to play some Beethoven. All three movements will go, and then we will allow you to unmute yourselves and applaud at will. And then maybe we'll take a bow. We'll see. So, let's get set. I hope you enjoy this performance of Beethoven's Trio in D major, Opus 70, number 1. Let's see here. And would you hit number 4 for me, too? Yeah, I got you.
Yay! Yay!
Maybe just mute your audio on your.
They can hear us now.
Did it say mute or unmute?
All right. For future reference, co-hosts, don't use the mute all button because it'll mute me. Just make sure. You have to go one by one.
Sounds like you heard the. Sounds like they heard the first movement.
Hopefully.
The first movement.
Otherwise, it was a lucky guess clapping at the right time.
All right.
All right.
I'll have to do that again.
Let's get haunted.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Line 4, would you?
Oh.
Thank you so much.
Amazing.
A little Beethoven, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That sure woke me up.
That's great.
All right.
Beautiful.
I hope no one's tired because we're going to keep going.
Hey.
The great
All right.
antidote.
Exactly. I think just what we all probably needed this evening.
Yes.
Hey, James. Now, let's see. Okay. I think, let's see. The next piece on our program is a wonderful trio that is new to me, you know, one that I only recently discovered. Yeah, you be right back. He's going to take care of something. But let's see. Before we get there, maybe I can ask my co-hosts. Does anyone, is there anything that stands out from perhaps the comment section, the peanut gallery? Is there any questions that came up about Beethoven? Let me see. Anything in there? Oh, I've got the peanut gallery right here. Pardon me while I look down at my computer. Oh, I see lots of nice things. Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Well, let's see. Today's program, you know, I should have mentioned earlier, you know, today's program is like all of our public concerts have been over the last 10 years. We really see these as something we want to make available to the whole community, you know, whether we're playing live concerts here in Trinity County or elsewhere around Northern California or Oregon. And so we have a kind of a unique model, maybe not unique, but it's not a common model. You know, we have our concerts open to the public. We want everyone to feel welcome. And then we just ask that people consider, you know, to choose kind of their own level of support. So instead of us setting a specific ticket price, we put that, we put that burden, I suppose, on you, the audience. So I would like the same to apply to all of our online streaming concerts. We want our music to be available for anyone, regardless of their situation. So I ask you all, if you haven't yet, to consider making a donation to this music festival. It will help support musicians like my colleagues around me. It will help support programs like this that we're doing here in this theater. It'll also support other fun things that we've been doing. For example, the piano that we are playing on today is a 9-foot Chickering. It is a Chickering that was made in 1925, so it is a 95-year-old piano. And it was a gift to the Trinity Alps Chamber Music Festival. We did some fix-up work, and we moved it all the way from San Jose up to here to Weaverville, where it now resides. And I think it makes a nice improvement over the previous instrument that was here. It sounds really lovely. So just think about all the, you know, all these things that we do. That is really kind of what, you know, what your support will mean to us. The next part of our program today is a set of pieces by the English composer Samuel Coleridge-Taylor, not to be confused with the poet Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Samuel Coleridge-Taylor was named after the poet. He was born in the 1870s, so at the height of what we call the Romantic era in music. He was born to a mixed-race parents. His father was a doctor from Sierra Leone in Africa, and his mother was a white English woman. So he was, you know, he had some struggles, you know, growing up as a minority, especially in that time. And I think to this day, his music is not quite given the credit that it perhaps deserves. We are going to play 5 selections from Samuel Coleridge-Taylor's Opus 59 collection of 24 Negro Melodies. These are melodies that he took from Africa, from the West Indies, the Caribbean islands, and from the Americas. Spirituals, folk songs, and all kinds of things that he collected, and he turned them into these wonderful kind of sort of romantic showpieces. I mean, the original versions are for solo piano, and they go all over the place. But he did make trio arrangements of 5 of them, and they make a nice set. If you just imagine the style of other composers of this era, it's a little bit similar. You know, think about how Dvorak took Slavonic dances and Czech dances and Bohemian style music and turned it into this kind of wild, romantic, classical style. Think of how Edvard Grieg took Norwegian folk music and converted it to this style. It's a similar thing that Samuel Coleridge-Taylor does with these African American spirituals and with these African songs. The 5 movements that we will play are each based on a different melody. Some of them may be familiar to you all. The first one is called Sometimes I Feel Like a Motherless Child. The second one is called
I was way down yonder.
I Was Way Down A-Yonder. The third one is called Didn't My Lord Deliver Daniel? The fourth one is an African song called They Will Not Lend Me a Child. They Will Not Lend Me a Child. And then the last one is a big triumphant thing. It's called My Lord Delivered Daniel. And together they make a set kind of like perhaps Dvorak's Dumki trio, you know, set of sort of folk dances, kind of an improvisatory way of treating them. They move through all of these wonderful melodies. So I very much hope you enjoy this. This is Samuel Coleridge-Taylor's arrangement of 5 Negro Melodies from his Opus 59 collection of the same name. You ready, my friends? Let's do it. I hope you enjoy this. Got it. Almost there.
Wonderful. Beautiful. Bravo.
All right.
Wonderful.
Give me a line 4 there. I'll give you
So nice.
What a nice way to spend an evening, huh?
No kidding.
Yep.
Oh, thank you so much. You know, I have to say it's been a real treat to explore these pieces. You know, the Samuel Coleridge-Taylor. These are works that I had never heard before, and you know, I was just it's so wonderful to find new music. You know, when you've played when you've played and heard the same wonderful pieces by Beethoven a lot. I mean, it's not that Beethoven ever gets old. He doesn't. I promise you that. But still, it's finding and sinking your teeth into a new piece of music is very satisfying. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, we've come to the end of our musical program, but we thought that as long as everyone is in the same room as us, you know, thanks to Zoom here, that we would take a little bit of time and see if any of our audience wants to share some questions for us about the music you heard today, or about our ever-changing careers, you know, as a broadcast team. You know, we were joking that looking at this camera, it looks like we should be reading the news or something, you know, like, okay, what are the headlines today? But let's see. I'm going to put myself into gallery view so that I can see all of your smiling faces. If anyone has a question, you can raise your hand. If you trust yourself, you can unmute yourself and say something. I see my friend Dorothy Kennedy has her hand up. Dorothy, would you like to chime in?
Yes. Hello. Thank you so much. I wish that next time you would have more light, and that I can hardly see you at the piano.
Ah, that's a great comment. Thank you. You know, as you know, we are always trying to adjust things and learn new programs here. So thank you, Dorothy. But I hope you at least got a good view of my beautiful colleagues, of James and of Ellen here.
Yes, I could see them just fine, but not you at all.
Well, okay.
That's fair. You gotta say that.
I should say, if you think you want another listen at this, the three of us actually spent the last several days recording all of this music with videos. So we will be putting those together in the coming weeks and sharing those. So if you want another turn at some of these pieces, seeing us play them, you will get another turn. We'll send out a link to our mailing list. Great. Let's see. Any of our other audience want to chime in? I see Elizabeth Kilmer. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi, yes, I was just saying that is an excellent idea if you're putting together recordings. Sometimes just being at home, it's hard to concentrate.
Oh boy, don't I know all about that?
So it would be nice to, when my attention wandered off when the cat went by or something like that, it would be nice to have a second go at it.
Well, I'm glad you're into the idea because, we thought that, as long as we're all learning all this new technology, I mean, it's just amazing. We're not alone in this. I know that all of you and the whole world is going through this learning curve at the same time, trying to find ways to be together when we're all apart. So, I mean, hopefully that's just a silver lining to all of this mess is that, we're going to come out of it on the other end with more skills and more knowledge and, more, maybe a little bit more sympathy for the people who have to do this on a regular basis. I see a comment in the chat. Hi, Richard. Richard Frank asks about where the three of us went to school and did our studies. I guess let's see. I know the first part of Ellen's story because Ellen and I both went to college at Willamette University in Salem, Oregon. That's where we both did our undergraduate degrees. Ellen, do you want to fill him in on your studies since then?
Well, that was actually the second part of my studies. My first 2.5 years of undergrad, I was at Boston University, studying violin there, and then second half with Ian at Willamette. And since then, taken lessons with various teachers and found my own way.
And you've had education in more broader fields than music.
Yeah, I did. I graduated Willamette with a physics degree, and
Please
did
speak
ethnomusic.
into the microphone.
Now
You
she's
can't hear
farming.
you.
Sorry. I graduated Willamette with a physics degree. That was my undergrad degree, and then did an ethnomusicology project that took me traveling to different parts of the world. and have since been in my own self-run school of homesteading and practical knowledge.
That's a funny way to put it. My education started at Willamette University, where they somehow convinced me to do a degree in music. Actually, I didn't take much convincing. I thought it was a great idea if I could get away with it. So far, I'm still getting away with it. But after finishing at Willamette, I moved to San Francisco, where I did a graduate and postgraduate work at the San Francisco Conservatory of Music, and that is where I met James. Both of us still live in San Francisco. James, do you want to? Here, I'll just give you this. Do you want to fill us in on your biographical information?
Hi, yeah. So I went to the University of Michigan for undergrad, and it was kind of cool. My friend is driving through there and sent me a picture of Hill Auditorium just today, and that really took me back. We played all our orchestra concerts there. And then I did a master's degree at the Cleveland Institute of Music, and that was sort of the place where I think I really fell in love over again with chamber music. I'd always loved doing it, but some of what I picked up from coaches there, I think I still use. And then, yeah, I had such a great time. You know, San Francisco is one of the only conservatories where you can do a degree specifically in chamber music, and that's a really cool program that both Ian and I came out of. And they keep it super small. You can there's only, I don't know how many was in it when you did it?
Maybe a dozen max.
There was like 6 of us, I think my first year.
Wow.
But the super cool part, Ian was just playing us a recording last night of him and a couple visiting like guest artists, Norm Fisher and Axel Strauss, and so part of that program is just tossing you in the deep end with professional chamber music artists. So I think that was a really cool part of, just sort of picking it up by doing it.
Yeah, well, thanks for the question. I mean, I suppose filling you in with biographical information is good. You know, normally you would go to a formal concert and we'd have a printed program and it would have all of this stuff in it.
Yeah.
But now our job is to be more social. In a lot of ways, this reminds me of kind of the same atmosphere of doing like a house concert. You know, in a house concert, it's a little less formal. You don't have the ticket price. You don't have the printed programs and the formality, but you do have a time to sort of break down the wall and communicate with each other, and so that it's again one of perhaps the unexpected sort of benefits of this crazy time. Let's see. I'm looking at. I see Connie Hoseman. Connie, hello.
Hi. Thank you so much. It was just so nice after what we've been through this evening. But I wish the other 2 performers could tell us a bit about their own instruments, the history, what kind.
Ah, that is a great idea. Let's see. Are there any fiddles nearby? Do you want to introduce your fiddle? Sure. We'll start with Ellen because her fiddle is right here. Sorry, fiddle. It's a violin. Excuse me.
Well, it depends on if there's ever been beer spilled on it. That makes it a fiddle.
Jim's nodding.
No, this violin was made by George Gemunder. He was a German maker, but one of the first makers to make fairly high-quality instruments in the States. And it was made in Astoria, New York in 1889.
Wow.
And it was actually one of the last instruments he made before he had a stroke and his son took over the shop. So that's what I know about my instrument.
Beautiful. What do you like about your instrument?
Well, let's see. I like that it tends to have kind of a warm, rich tone. And yeah, it's sweet and I think it plays well with others. There's times that it's troublesome trying to get it to project enough depending on the situation, but that's kind of a common trade-off.
Sure. All those times when we're playing outdoor concerts here in the Trinity Alps, yeah, the projection becomes a real issue. James, you want to introduce us to your life partner here?
Yeah, it's gonna outlive me. Let's hope. So this cello, I don't have an exact date on, but all I know is that it was made sometime between 1800 and 1850 in London in the workshop of William Forster. So his label is inside it. You know, a couple things about cellos of this era is that actually I really resonate with what Ellen was just saying, which is that it is such a chamber music instrument. So it really blends well with, I think, with other instruments. Similar to you know, similar to an old building that's of historical interest and has been renovated, different parts of my cello are different ages. The bridge was carved in just the last few years, and you know, I have to keep changing the strings. Those are new. The back, front, and sides are all original. The scroll was made, you know, some point halfway through its life, and then the much more brand new is a carbon fiber tailpiece here. Those they did not do those back in London in the day. So it's kind of a interesting creation at this point.
It's almost like a Frankenstein cello with all those different parts.
Yeah, exactly.
But the main part, I think you get the history out of that. That's wonderful. I saw another really great question in the chat asking about how we met Ellen and how that the gardening and the farming and the outdoor sort of wilderness appreciation became a part of this music festival. Ellen and I went to college together in Oregon, and we kept in touch after that. And it wasn't long after college, you know, when we were both in our mid-20s, when she decided that she wanted to have a homestead, and she found the, you know, rural Trinity County, which is one of the most rural parts of California. And she found a beautiful piece of land near the South Fork of the Trinity River in Hyam Palm Valley, and started a homestead there. And so when we talk about, you know, oh, the musicians come and we stay at the farm and we do gardening and chamber music and it's a wonderful idyllic setting, that's really all Ellen's creation. You know, that farm is all her homestead, and it's very much a working homestead. You know, everything that is produced there, you know, almost everything we eat is grown there. So, you know, this week, for example, we harvested corn, and then we ground the corn into meal, and we did the mixtamal process where you can make masa, and then we made our own tortillas. We also harvested beans, these wonderful beans, and then we cooked those with the tortillas. We also, the pepper plants are going off. So we had all of these bell peppers and ancho peppers, poblanos, and so we made stuffed peppers to go with that. And it was kind of like we got to take part in the whole process. You know, it's just really a wonderful thing. And that's kind of one of the things that sets this music festival apart from all others, is that it's not just about, you know, bringing great people together to do music. You don't need much more of an excuse. That's a good one to begin with. But the fact that we can go to such a wonderful place and really kind of unplug from the rest of our lives. You know, there's no cell phone service there, which is such a blessing these days. There's no traffic. There's nowhere to go. You know, we're in farm in the middle of nowhere, you know, nowhere to go except for the river when it gets too hot to practice music. So yeah, that is the story in a nutshell of Ellen's farm and how it came to be such a part of this festival. Let's see, we have a little bit of time left. Anyone else want to raise their hands and be a part of this question and answer before we call it an evening and wish you all peace of mind and peaceful rest? And I guess, you know, what I could do is I could give a little promotion for the rest of this series. The plan is to do 6 to 8 more of these concerts before the end of 2020. We are going to single-handedly save 2020. We are going to make it awesome through making 6 more of these concerts. And they will feature musicians from all over the country and all over the world. Some of our programs will be on Sunday mornings. Sunday mornings means that we can have live performances from European colleagues, streaming from their homes or their studios in Amsterdam, Copenhagen, Frankfurt, wherever they may be. Also on this series, we will feature 6 different cellists playing all 6 of the Bach cello suites. They will be staggered on each of the coming up programs, and actually James will be our guest on the next program, which will be in just a couple of weeks. He'll be playing Bach's first cello suite. So it'll be a whole mix of things, and we hope that you all will come back. We hope that you all will help spread the news so that we can get more people, you know, enjoying chamber music. And I think, you know, having this chance to actually meet the musicians, discuss music, ask all those questions that you maybe have been thinking about, since you first saw someone pick up a violin, and play a concert. So I think with this, we have reached the end of our program. I would like to thank you all again for being here. If you haven't yet, please take a moment and make a contribution to the festival. That helps me make sure that my colleagues like these get paid a professional wage, and so that we can keep doing programs. The best way to make a donation is to go to the Trinity Alps Chamber Music Festival's website. That's trinityalpscmf.org. James just typed it into the chat, but that's okay. James is about to type it into the chat, if that helps. We are easy to find on the internet, Trinity Alps Chamber Music Festival. That's the easiest way to make a donation online. If you like, there is also an address if you're the kind of person who likes to support the U.S. Postal Service and send something in the mail. That works too. Let's see, anything else? I don't think so. Perhaps you all would like to give my colleagues and I one more round of applause. I know we would like that. Hey! Ellen just said that's probably the first time she's bowed to a computer. All right. First time for everything. Everyone stay happy and stay healthy. Be well, and I'll see you again next time. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Remember to look up.